welcome back to another video. My name is Daisy. If you are a new subscriber, thank you very much for clicking on my channel, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. So guys, of course, again, I'm back with Juliette, and today we're going to be talking about how we planned our Nigerian wedding. So we both planned our wedding ourselves, so we're just going to be talking about the whole process, giving you the whole tea of planning this wedding, guys. So of course we have drinks. Grab your drinks and let's get right into this video. So guys, we don't have anything written down. We're just going to go with the flow and just talk about the different processes of planning the wedding. For me, let's start from like the traditional and then we get right into the white wedding. Okay. So I think when we got engaged in 2017, we had it in mind to get married the next year, but then my parents were like, no, why don't you guys wait and get married in 2019? You guys are going to go to Nigeria, you're going to have a traditional wedding in Nigeria. It's like, are you people thinking about the money it's going to cost us to take everybody to Nigeria? Yes. We don't know, like we haven't been to Nigeria in how long. We're going to plan a wedding. That means we're going to start looking for vendors, looking for people. Obviously you're going to need security because everybody's coming from America. Right. Everybody that I pretty much know now that I'm an adult. Of course I have friends that I grew up with in Nigeria, but then I don't know them like that anymore. But then everybody I know is in America. Here. So you're telling me I'm going to Nigeria. Probably my bridesmaids are probably going to be people I don't know, because I cannot expect all my friends to fly to Nigeria, and that was the biggest issue.
I feel like planning a wedding, when you take on that responsibility to plan your own wedding, that's a big stressful thing in itself. And then having this other like impute what you need to do, what not to do, culture. And the bigger, I feel like for us, the big thing was like, culture, according to culture. And I mind you, I'm not like against culture or anything.
Jesus.
But it just puts so much pressure. So our story is similar. We got engaged the beginning of 2017 on my husband's birthday, and we knew that we wanted to get married like fairly early, so we also got married that same year. I was still in nursing school when we got engaged, so crazy me, I was in nursing school. That is stressful. I was planning my wedding and I really didn't have that much time to plan the wedding. And like you said, I graduated like 3 or 4, 5 months before my wedding. I don't think so, because I graduated in June and our wedding was in November. So I graduated in June, my husband graduated in May, because we both graduated that year. And we were planning the wedding, and it was just a big, at first my parents, mostly my dad, wanted us to like go do it in Nigeria because, you know, culture, we have to like do it. I'm the first girl, I'm the first child, all of that stuff. And I'm like, do you guys realize that it's going to cost an arm and a leg to fly everybody back home from here? And that doesn't even include, you know, the money that you're going to spend to do things for wedding prep back home. So it was just a big deal.
I feel like even for us, the honest truth is I actually did start looking at vendors in Nigeria. Like I started talking to people, like I asked my brother, check out this hall in Abuja, check out this hall in Owerri, because that's where my husband grew up. He grew up in Owerri, I grew up in Abuja, and just pretty much. So it's like, how are we even going to do this? He's from Owerri, his whole family is from the east. Like I'm from Owerri too, but I never really went there. Do you understand? Like I'm just like, how am I going to be able to get, even if I get people to Nigeria, how am I going to get everybody to Owerri? And then if we agree to now do the wedding in Abuja, how are we going to get his whole family to Abuja? Because you're going to start thinking about where everybody's going to start to stay, and everybody's going to start looking at you to take care of that accommodation.
Exactly. So and it's just too much. I'm
just like, it was just a lot. And then apart from that, we settled all of that. We were agreed to do our wedding, our traditional wedding in America. And then we started talking about the bride price and all of that thing. Like, God bless Igbo people. I love being Igbo. I appreciate being Igbo. But then being the only daughter, the first daughter, I feel like, and then the first person in my family to get married. Like,
So it's like you're like the, you know how when you first have a child, that child is kind of like the practice run, and then by the time you have the second, you already know what to do.
I saw the list first when it came from Nigeria because my parents had to ask my uncle to like take a
Right
picture
there.
of it and scan it, and I feel like that's okay. I understand that my uncles are like, oh, she's in America. Her list cannot be the same list
As
as
the
the
person
people.
that was
No. Is her list cannot be. So let me tell you how it is. She's in America. She graduated from an American university. She went to finish high school in America. Then that list is different too. Then you now come to people that live in Nigeria, that live in Abuja, their list is different. People that live in Owerri town, their list is different.
really.
Then people that live in the village, their list is different. So me, I'm like the high category of the list.
No, so
You understand? So this is the high class list. And I'm even sure that there are people that their list pass my own.
higher, of course.
There are people that the PhD people their list obviously pass my own.
Doctorate list.
So doctorate list, of course. But then I feel like only God knows. Maybe people, my uncles or whoever it is, the person that gets the list, you have to pay money to get the list. So of course my husband paid money. I think my dad paid money. Or my husband, I can't even remember. Paid money. We got the list. I saw the list first. When I saw the list, I started laughing. I'm just like, people are ridiculous, man. Like, are you people serious? I'm just like, where are we gonna get some of these things from? 10 loaves of bread. My mother alone is gonna eat 10 loaves of bread. She doesn't even eat bread. So, and then when I was talking about my parents, my mom was laughing. She just like, it's just something that people do. Like, she was like, she understands that it's ridiculous, but it's not for her. It's mainly for like the like the women. But just like you have to understand, it's not a lot of stuff. People have done it. I've eaten from people. That's the term. I've eaten from people. I've eaten from people.
So they have to eat my own.
They have to eat my own. Do you understand? I think it's a beautiful culture. It's a beautiful thing. But then sometimes I feel like it's just too much.
I think what makes it too much is because it's that in addition to other things that you still have to do. And most of the time in America, when people get engaged, most of the time the two people involved are the ones like catering to the stuff relating to the wedding. Sometimes the parents help out, which God bless them, but most of the time it's the two people so like you're looking at, you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do that, and let's not even get into like the white wedding, because that in itself was a lot. At least for me, it was a lot. For me, traditional wedding wise, I saw the list. My mom was like the one that helped me to talk and be like, well, this is too much, like how do you guys expect, she kind of like biased with them and stuff, and my husband was able to like get the necessary stuff that we needed for the list, and then we were able to do the traditional wedding and stuff. But like for the white wedding, that was where there was a lot of like drama and stuff that I went through, and I was so stressed.
Like for you, I will feel like your traditional wedding was better because you did your traditional wedding at home in your parents' house.
Yes.
You didn't have as much people as that I had.
Yes.
So like I had about 200 people at my traditional wedding.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know like 50 of those people.
Yeah.
Because most of those people were like family. Like most of my family came from like all over America. Some people came from Nigeria. God bless you for coming. People came from like Canada, other places. I appreciate that they came. But then I'm just like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Like it cost a lot, from the clothes that we had to wear to everything, paying for the hall, the decoration. Like I know, like I had friends who helped me do the decoration and the cake, like those little things. But then everything else was a lot. And I know my parents were like, oh, we have to do it, we have to do it. But then when I think about it, who am I pleasing? Like, isn't my wedding supposed to be something that I look back
and
at and I'm happy about it? I'm not sad about the wedding.
Yeah,
I'm really not. But then, would I have saved a bulk of the money that we spent to do something else? Yes, I would have saved a bulk of that money, because I watched my wedding video. Now I'm just like, we didn't need this. We didn't need that. We didn't need that. And
if I could go back, honestly, and I say this to you every time when we talk, if I could go back, there's so many things that I would have done differently. So many things. I'm grateful to God for us able to have a beautiful wedding and stuff. But there's so many things that we could have done differently. And the major reason we were we did that in the first place was, I don't want to say pressure, but it was mostly pressure.
Yeah.
Like the pressure to do something a certain way,
Yeah.
or to like do something to please a certain group of people.
I feel like it's just that pleasing. It's just like
Yes.
you just want to please people, and then you're pleasing people to displease yourself. And I feel like even to date, like my husband still looks at our wedding video and it just pisses him off, because
Yeah.
he's just like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
babe, I don't even know half of these people.
People.
And that now we're gonna talk about the white wedding. There's a woman in my white wedding video that,
You don't know.
yo, I don't know who she is, but the face she was giving me, she looked so mad and like she looked so unhappy for me, and I'm just like, why are you
there?
looking at me like this? Like, what did
Why?
I do to you? I don't even know who you are.
And that's what I'm saying. So like for my wedding, I know this is like not the typical. If we were in Nigeria, we would definitely have more guests. But
Mhm.
like for a wedding in America, like anytime I tell anybody that I had like 400, like I
Yeah.
rented a place, or we rented a place that could contain 400 people, because that was the amount of people we were expecting.
Mhm.
They're like, are you crazy? 400 people?
I get
That's
the
a
same
lot
thing.
of money.
I get
Like,
the same thing
they
too.
look at me like I'm an alien, because a lot of these people, when they have their weddings, they have maybe 50 people or
Yeah.
25 people, or the most 100 people. So when I say 400, they're like, how do you even know that many people? Well, it's not like I know that many people. It's like family and friends, and like, oh, we have to invite these people and we have to invite that people.
Okay, so white wedding, right? I feel like white wedding, I'm just gonna break it down from like the beginning. So I feel like starting off planning a white wedding was picking like my bridesmaids. I'm the one person who doesn't have a lot of friends. I feel like I don't have a lot of female friends, so picking my bridesmaids was very, very hard for me. And I feel like a lot of people that I picked as my bridesmaids, no offense, I would not have them if I had to do my wedding right
Yeah.
now. I would not have them. Including the fact that my husband wanted to have like 10 groomsmen. I'm just like, dude,
Her
why?
husband has a lot of friends.
Like,
So.
I'm just like, why? So I feel like that made me find people that I wasn't really close with, just to match, not because I
You
had to
wanted
do it
to.
or I wanted to. I was just doing it just to match him. Did it make the date easier for me? Honestly.
But the thing, like for me, when I was picking my bridesmaids, and I think this could totally like be another video or something in
Mhm.
itself. But like now that we're talking about it, when I was picking my bridesmaids, I was like, the people I wanted, because they were gonna be in pictures, they were gonna be in videos, they were gonna be in things that I would carry on over the years. I wanted it to be people that I felt at the time that in 10 years time, or like in certain number of years time, I would still be, or I thought I would still be in contact with them. You know what I mean? So, and right from time I knew I didn't want that many bridesmaids. Maybe if I did my wedding in Nigeria, it would have been a completely different story,
Mhm.
because I have friends in Nigeria and stuff. But like here, I know that I didn't really have friends. And then like we were like literally just starting to
Yeah.
get close.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe if I had known you, even if it was like a year prior, we're probably gonna be on my bridesmaid. But that
Yeah.
that didn't like. You were so helpful to me on my
It didn't
wedding.
change anything.
No, like you were
You
super
really didn't.
helpful.
It
Like
really
she
didn't
was
change.
super
It
helpful
really
to
didn't
me
change
on my
anything.
wedding. Like I remember, and this is going off tangent. I remember I was doing my makeup in the hotel, and I called you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I completely forgot. Can you help me pick up the cake base?
Yeah.
And you were just like, okay, without hesitation. And my makeup artist was like, she didn't even hesitate. I'm like, she's good like that. She really helped me out. But like, fast forward now, I've had just 4 bridesmaids, including my maid of honor, and I don't regret that I had that many. Like 4, maybe 8. Going back, maybe I would have just had a maid of honor, honestly, because that's pretty much all you need, kind of. But I get when people, if you have girlfriends that really mean a lot to you, and you know they're able to help out through your wedding process and stuff like that, then go for it. But if not, it's just that, because picking out the bridesmaids' dresses, making sure they fit, and all of that.
That making sure they fit. You remember the thing that happened at my wedding where half of the people, their dresses didn't even fit?
And I was pregnant, so I didn't even, there was no way I was gonna fit in mine. That's like, oh God, it was like, so stressful. It was so bad.
I feel like, I don't know how we did it, but then we just combined a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And it just came out looking good at the end of the day. Because I'm just like, I don't know what to do, man. If your dress doesn't fit, why did you gain weight? You know you were going to be a bridesmaid.
Why did you get pregnant?
Like, why?
She's like, yeah, why did you get pregnant?
Why? There was I think the problem was for me because we sent the measurement a whole year before.
Earlier.
And maybe we should have sent it closer to time.
But
then if you think about it, the dresses came from Nigeria.
Yes.
So it's like
you were trying to like be on top of your game, like planning early and making sure that you had things in place on time. I had a situation where last minute I had to like switch maid of honor.
Yeah, I remember.
And like a month or like a few weeks I had to like rush ship my maid of honor's dress from Nigeria, and trust me, you do not want to go through that stress. So yeah, you were just trying to like be good with your planning, but it was really stressful.
I feel like another big part of wedding is the food.
Yeah.
Like the food was such a big part of our wedding, and I feel like that's the one thing that I was not trying to compromise on. I like that's the one thing, like the food and the drink. God bless my heart, my cousins paid for the drinks for us having open bar. Like I'm so grateful that my cousins did that for me because that helped a lot. Yeah. But then I was not willing to compromise on the food. Like, I told my mom, look, I want people to eat. Like eat too. If you have to take food
it's a
home,
Nigerian wedding. So there's no Nigerian
like,
wedding without good food. The Niger jollof.
Like I told my mom, I'm like, if people want to take food home, let them take. Like I don't mind. Like the wedding was the one thing I'm just like, you know what? I am not going to compromise.
Right.
I wanted to make sure I had good food. So watch me. I had 3 different vendors. I tried food from 3 different vendors. I was not about to be like, this moi moi is tasting some type of way, or you're cooking jollof rice and you're putting crayfish inside. Are you mad? Like, what is wrong with you? So like, I wasn't trying to compromise. And the woman who ended up cooking our wedding food, God bless her heart, I still go to her when I'm in like the Boston area for like food and stuff. This woman just fell in love with my mom. Like the first time we contacted her, she was like, oh, I live in like Avon. Avon is far. We live in Lynn. Avon is like the other side of Massachusetts. So it's like, she was like, you know what, I'll meet you guys halfway. I'm gonna bring this and this and this so you guys can travel. My mom is like, okay. So we go and we try the food, and her food was good. And she was like, okay, what do you guys want? And I'm like, I want you to cater the traditional wedding and the white wedding. And she was like, okay. And the next thing she says is like, I don't know, but God is just speaking to me to just be nice to you guys and just give you guys the best, because I know that from you guys I'm gonna get more customers.
Oh, that's so nice.
Other people were charging us an arm and a leg. This woman literally charges like half of what one person was charging us for both days. And mind you, we had extra food that we had to even trash some stuff. Don't start.
We pretty much the same thing. We didn't want to compromise on the food, so I kind of like let my mom handle the food. And the thing with my mom is she doesn't do anything like little. So she goes like over the top for everything. So like you said, she had like 3 different people supply jollof rice, because she said, just in case this one's rice is not good, this one's rice will be good, or that. So we had like surplus, and then we had like moi moi, we had porridge, we had this, we had that. At the end of the day, it was so much food.
I feel like the food, the day that I was really mad was my traditional wedding, because we didn't eat.
I remember
we didn't eat. I was so mad, because I'm just like, I understand, because the traditional wedding, what we did, we cooked less rice and more
of the
traditional stuff, which I feel like so many people were so excited about, because we literally had ofowere at our traditional wedding, which is something you don't get at a lot of like traditional weddings. We had uba at our traditional wedding. We had like the real Nigerian garden egg. We had egusi, we had ofowere, we had pounded yam and gari with porridge yam, and then a little rice. So it's like was looking forward to eating that soup because it was my mom who made it. And everything was gone. And I'm just like, really? How is this food finished? Like, I was so sad. And I feel like with that kind of like, the woman kind of felt bad that I feel like it made her cook extra.
I guess what we're trying to say is, with all of these things, is you may think you need more.
Yeah.
But
you really don't.
You really don't. And I think for us, we were thinking, or at least I was thinking, well, we're expecting 400 people.
Yeah.
So we have to like make sure there's like excess, like more for, you know what I mean? Like more, even same with the drinks or same with the water or all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, it ended up wasting.
Yeah. I feel like another thing that we shouldn't like compromise, which kind of like slapped on our day a little bit, was like the limousines. Like, which limo company misses the hotel? Like, you got the address.
That
like,
was ridiculous.
I was so frustrated. Like, the limo company was like, oh, we went to the wrong hotel, and my friend, like Tani's, well, her boyfriend and her now husband had to drive us to the church. And then we get to the church, and I find out that the guy who did the flowers and my bouquet got my husband's, what they call that thing?
The boutonniere.
He got it wrong. He went and gave this guy like a dark purple. I'm just like, is this like some cult looking kind of thing? And he was so mad, and he felt like I was ignoring him that morning. But then I was getting so much calls that I'm just like, you know what? Here, hold my phone. I don't even want to see the phone because I'm like, I'm just so like, I wasn't just trying to get stressed out because I'm like, if I get stressed out, I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna look horrible. I'm like, I don't want that. But then, to be honest, though, at the end of the day, when we got to the church, when I saw him, like, I'm like, everything just was like,
and you
out
know,
of the
another
door.
thing I really liked about your wedding was the fact that your church, like where you guys got married, they were so supportive. Like, they were really, even with the fact that the limousine people like missed the hotel and stuff. Like, you didn't stress about that because you were like, well, they're gonna wait for us and
that's
stuff.
true.
That wasn't the case for my, like, I was literally hurrying everybody up. So that, I put so much pressure on myself because we had to be at church at a certain time. Even to the point where I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't have made this time like 12 o'clock. I think it was 12 o'clock or something. I can't remember.
It was 12.
I'm like, maybe I should have made it like 2 or 3. Like, this is so stressful. So
like, also, we're literally like a whole 2 hours late. And the pastor was just like,
smiling. He was so nice. He was so
God bless his heart.
I was happy about that because I'm like,
I feel like the things that should never be compromised when planning a Nigerian wedding, no matter how big, no matter how small, is the food, the decoration. Like, I don't feel like Nigerian people don't really care about decorations.
Well, it depends. But what I know is, if you ask someone, maybe a person that really wasn't into you, maybe wasn't like with you planning and stuff, and ask them, oh, what were the colors of my maybe table cover? No one's gonna remember that.
That's true.
There's some particular things that they're gonna remember. They're gonna remember the food that they ate, if it was good.
The music.
Yes, the music. They're gonna remember that. They're gonna remember what else? Yeah, we said the food, the music,
the souvenirs.
Yeah, if there were souvenirs, they're gonna remember that. But like for you, or for like the couple in question, the things that I think that you shouldn't compromise, we already touched up on the food. Don't compromise on like maybe your outfits if you want to look good or something. And another thing for yourself, your photography and your videography.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like you would look back on these things, especially with the videographers. Like a lot of people do just photographs.
Like, that's for us. That's why for our traditional, we decided to do a video instead of doing pictures.
Yeah.
Because like now we have the video from the traditional wedding, and I'm so excited that we have that because it was such a beautiful day. Like, thinking about it, it was really beautiful, and I'm happy that, like, yes, we had people that took pictures of us that we can like enlarge and do what we want to do with it, but like it was just special and more important to have like a video done, because if it was left to me, I would have said we should take pictures, but then Larry was like, no babe, we should do a video, and that was really good.
So like for us, I'd already booked like a company that did that. They were supposed to do like the photography and the videography together, as a combination, and then last minute I booked somebody else. Scobo shot it.
He was
And
good.
shout out to him. Oh my god, he was
Yeah.
so good, and I'm so glad I booked him, because that, if you're like maybe come visit and we have to play anything, that's the video we reach to play. That's what we have accessible, and I'm so glad we spent the money and did that.
He was really good, and to think that it's just him. He's working by himself, and he gets so much good content.
Yeah,
it's just like
really beautiful shots. He is so
that?
good. So yeah, those are the things that I would think you could splurge on: your food, your outfits,
your
drinks,
your music. I feel like
music, music definitely, because people are gonna dance. People are gonna remember the kind of fun that they had at your wedding, and then your photography and your videography. So those things, don't compromise on them. Once you find people that are really good, like good vendors in that aspect, then go for them. But like the other things, not so much.
I feel like another thing that's really important in wedding is your MC. Like
MC, they make or break the show.
Oh my goodness, our MC the whole time he kept saying, "Beautiful girl."
I remember.
Oh, beautiful.
So like this table we were sitting on, I'm like, what is wrong with this? What is going on? What is he talking about?
And he's so popular in the Igbo community in Boston. I'm just like, is this what he does at people's events?
Right.
And the thing that was sad was we were supposed to have DJ Prince do our MC, and then he was like, oh, he can't, he had an event. And then last minute he was like, oh, he can still do it, but I'm like, we're
booked somebody else, right?
But then luckily for us, he still showed up and he made the wedding really fun. But then that guy was so annoying, and yes, even if he watches this video, I'm sorry, you were very annoying.
So the thing
he was commenting on so many things that were so annoying. Like, how can people are dancing their first dance, you're going beautiful. Oh my god, lovely couple.
So the thing with the music, DJ Prince did our traditional wedding, and I don't know if maybe because he's Igbo and stuff, so he was able to like play Igbo music. But we had a different DJ for our white wedding.
Yeah.
And I think because some of the people that were present at our traditional wedding were at our white wedding, and they were expecting something like that, and they were not getting it. My uncle was legit pissed at the DJ. He was like, "What kind of music is he playing?" Blah 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 blah. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah, I feel like for us, sorry to cut you short. I feel like for us, for our traditional wedding, I feel like what helped with our traditional wedding, especially, was the fact that my dad had a lot of Igbo music
songs.
So this dude literally showed up to the wedding with his case of
archives
of CDs. Like, he wasn't here to compromise. He's like, we're gonna be Igbo.
Yeah.
So he came with his Igbo music and gave it to Prince, and Prince was able to like play like those things, which was really good.
Yeah.
The DJ for our white wedding, he started off like our first dance song. He kind of like messed up the song.
Mixed it up.
Like, even the song for our parents coming in, he mixed it up.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna bash him or whatever. Prince came in and saved the day, and everybody had fun.
Yeah.
But then, would I book him again? I'm sorry. No, I would not do that again.
Alright.
But guys, this is the end of, I won't say this is the end of our wedding series, because obviously we still have more to put out there and like planning weddings, because Juliette single-handedly planned her wedding herself down to decorations. I didn't do my decorations myself.
I did it.
But we would probably be filming another video on like just the steps to planning, and just maybe make it into like a whole wedding series or something. We could probably do that. But then guys, thank you very much for sticking with us through this whole video. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment in the comment section of what you enjoyed about this video. Tell us about your wedding, if you were married, and like the things you did, or if you're planning to get married, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about your plans and whatnot, and if we can help and give you tips, we definitely will. And again, don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.